What's something you saw as a kid but didn't realize was messed up until you were older? My neighbor had this thing where he'd always ask me to help him carry groceries every single time. Heavy bags, light bags, didn't matter. Hey kiddo, mind giving me a hand? I thought he was just being nice, involving me, making me feel useful. But here's the weird part. He'd always insist on carrying the lightest bag himself, leave me struggling with the heavy stuff. You're strong, you can handle it. I'd be dragging milk jugs and canned goods while he carried like bread and paper towels. One day I'm maybe 8 years old and I drop a bag, eggs everywhere. I start crying because I thought I ruined everything. Don't worry about it, happens to everyone. But then he does something strange. He gets down on his hands and knees and starts cleaning it up really carefully, like he's done this before. Mr. Henderson, I can clean it up. I made the mess. No, you just stand there. While he's scrubbing egg off the concrete, I notice his hand. They're shaking, not like nervous shaking, like he can't control them. I ask my mom about it later. Why does Mr. Henderson's hands shake like that? Oh honey, he has Parkinson's disease. It makes it hard for him to hold things. That's when it clicked. He wasn't making me carry groceries because he thought I was strong. He was making me carry groceries because he literally couldn't hold them without dropping them. All those times I thought he was being lazy or treating me like a servant, he was actually asking an 8-year-old to be his hands. But the really messed up part, he never told me, never explained, just let me think he was some guy who didn't want to carry his own stuff. The pattern became clearer as I got older. He'd always time his grocery trips for when I was getting home from school. Always have exact change ready so he wouldn't have to fumble with his wallet in front of me. Perfect timing, just got back from the store, like it was coincidence. I started paying attention to other things. How he'd drop his mail sometimes when I walked by. How he'd always need help opening pickle jars. How he'd ask me to help him change light bulb. These old bones aren't what they used to be, but it wasn't about old bones. It was about a progressive disease that was stealing his independence, one small task at a time. The worst part was watching him pretend everything was fine. He'd make jokes about getting old, laugh when he spilled coffee on himself, act like dropping his keys was just absent-mindedness. Getting old isn't for the weak, he'd say, picking up whatever he'd dropped. I thought he was just clumsy, didn't realize he was fighting his own body every single day. Years later, I'm in high school, and I see him at the grocery store. His condition's gotten worse. He's got one of those shopping carts you can lean on. I walk up to him. Mr. Henderson, need help with your groceries? He looks at me for a long moment. You don't have to do that anymore, kiddo. You're all grown up now. I know, but we get to his car, and I'm loading everything into his trunk. He's watching me with this expression I'd never seen before. You were always such a good kid, even when you didn't understand. Why didn't you ever tell me about your hands? He shrugs. What 8-year-old wants to think about disease and disability? You just wanted to help your neighbor. That's when he tells me the whole story. How he was diagnosed when I was 6. How his wife had died the year before, and he was terrified of being alone. How seeing me play in the yard gave him hope that maybe he wouldn't have to face this thing completely isolated. I was supposed to move to assisted living, had the papers signed and everything. But then you started helping me, and I thought maybe I can stay a little longer. He stayed in that house for 4 more years because an 8-year-old kid made him feel less alone. Every time you helped me, you were giving me another day of independence. You just didn't know it. The messed up part wasn't that he asked me to carry groceries. It's that he spent years pretending he didn't need help so I wouldn't feel burdened by his illness. He was protecting me from the weight of being someone's lifeline when I was just a kid who wanted to feel useful.